Hey guys, so we are going to go over some vocabulary words for the different kinds of angles. I think this may help you. So first is supplementary angles. The way I remember this is when you have more than one angle or two angles added together that equal 180 degrees total, they are supplementary. So easy way to remember. S for supplementary gets turned into an 8. So 180 degrees equals supplementary. So if I have a line and an angle, the angle M and P plus angle O and P 180 degrees. That is this entire degree. So if I told you that angle MMP was 70 degrees, so MNP right here, 70 degrees, and I want to find out what angle ONP is, that would be my X. It would be 70 plus X equals 180 degrees. Subtract 70 from each side. You get X equals 110 degrees, which means ONP equals 110 degrees. Okay, so there's that. So supplementary equals 180. The next one is complementary angles. So let's scroll down to that. Complementary angles is when two angles added together equals 90 degrees. So this entire angle is a 90-degree angle. We can have S, T, U. Now when you draw a ray, through this angle, you now have two angles, and we'll put another line up here that can be V. So if I want to know what angle STV equals, I know that STV plus angle VTU equals 90 degrees because they're complementary. The way I remember this, you draw a C for complementary, right? So here's my C for complementary. My C turns into a 9, 90. That's how 90 degrees equals complementary. So if I know that STV equals, let's say, 35 degrees, I know that 35 degrees plus X, which is my VTU, plus X equals 90 degrees. Now you're just solving for X. Subtract 35, subtract 35, X equals 55 degrees. Okay, so now we're going to go down a little bit further. Remember, you can pause this video at any time if you would like to take notes. We're gonna go down. I'm actually gonna zoom in just a little bit. So we have corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are two angles that are supplementary. So when we label our angles, we have angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6, angle 7, and angle 8. Corresponding angles, supplementary angles. Remember, those are corresponding angles are angles that are equal. So that means that the degree of angle, the first angle and the second angle or of your two corresponding angles, so not of angle 1 and angle 2, but of your two corresponding angles will be the same, or also known as congruent. Congruent angles that are corresponding angles would be things like angles 1 and 3 are corresponding angles. 6 and 8 are corresponding angles. So I'm going to show you. So 1 and 3 are corresponding to each other. Are those the only two that correspond with 1 and 3? No. You also have angles 5 and 7, which are the same angles. The way to remember this is the zigzag. So your zigzag is going to start here at angle 1, go down to angle 3. I crossed over the line once, so then I need to do so again. So then it's going to go from angle 3 across the line again to angle 5, through angle 5 and through angle 7. Every time I go from one angle to the next, I need to cross over the line. So those are our 4 corresponding angles. If those 4 correspond, then so do their opposites. So in this case, angles 2, 4, 6, and 8. Well, that's not a great color. Those look the same. 6, 2, there we go. So 2, 4, 6, and 8 are also corresponding angles. Again, you're going to draw your line. So start at your 2, cross the line once, go over again because you need to cross the line every time. 6 and 8. So there's your second set of corresponding angles. So what does that mean? It means that those angles that cross that zigzag are all equal to one another. So angles 2, 4, 6, and 8 have all the same degrees. Angles 1, 3, 5, and 7 all have the same degrees. Corresponding angles only work when your transversal line crosses parallel lines. Only when your transversal line crosses parallel if your lines are not parallel, then your angles will not be corresponding. Okay, so parallel lines only have, with the transversal, only have corresponding angles. So let's scroll down to the next section. I don't know why that is not coming through on yours. And I'm very sorry. I don't know what's happening there. Sorry, guys. Uh, so now we have our vertical angles, right? A vertical angle is similar to a corresponding angle. And actually, a corresponding angle is just the bigger word for a vertical angle. So your vertical angles, again, we're going to label 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, are the angles that are opposite. So in this case, we have 4 sets of vertical angles. First one, 1 and 4 vertical angles. Second one, 3 and 2 vertical angles. Okay. Then we have 6 and 8, also vertical angles. And 7 and 5, which are vertical angles. They're the ones that are diagonal from your first angle. Easy peasy. So now on to the next one. Roll on down. We have alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles, again, I'm going to label. So you have angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6, angle 7, and angle 8. So alternate interior angles are your angles that are in between the 2 parallel lines. Okay, so the only interior angles we have are 4, 3, 5, and 6. When it says alternate, it's telling you that it's on the opposite side of the line. So angle 4 and angle 6 are alternate interior angles. Then we have angle 3 and angle 5, which are also alternate interior angles. Those angles are congruent or equal to each other. So alternate interior angles are congruent. Have the same degree. So now we're going to go on to our next one, which is alternate exterior angles. Here's my angles. Again, I'm going to number them for you. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So alternate exterior angles are the angles that are outside of the parallel lines. Outside so, so again, use my little highlighter. That would mean that angle 1 and angle 7, because again, you have to cross that center line, are alternate interior or exterior angles. And then you have angle 2 and angle 8, which are also alternate exterior angles because they're outside of the parallel line. Oh, again, we're going to scroll down. Now we have consecutive angles. Consecutive angles are angles that when added together equal 180 degrees. No, just kidding. Yep, consecutive angles equal 180 degrees when added together. So, and I'm going to label my angles. Okay, so you can have consecutive angles on any straight line. That's very important to know. So angle 1 and angle 2 are consecutive angles because if you add this angle to this angle, you will get 180 degrees. 6 and 7 are also consecutive angles because if you add this angle to this angle, you will get 180 degrees. This is where knowing all of the terms comes in handy, right? Because we know that angle 2 and angle 6 are the same, which means that angle 2's consecutive angle could also be angle 7, because that means 3 and 7 are the same, because those are corresponding angles. They are equal in degrees, and they will still equal that 180 degrees. So that is something you need to think about when you are answering questions on IXL and on your TABE test, and just when you're doing things in general. You never know when you may need this stuff.